What up? It's your boy Dayton coming at you with another episode of Unbiased Sports Fan. And I got my Christmas outfit on because it's Christmas in March, baby. The
Ooh,
Yes, sir. The brackets just revealed. I got my long friend here, CORIE LEDFORD. Thanks for coming on. And I just
absolutely
want to,
excited to be here.
oh, yeah. You pumped about it?
Oh man, I'm just excited to talk some college basketball. You know me. This is just one of my most favorite times of the year. I love it, man.
Yep. Goes back 10 years ago. We've been talking about this stuff, me and you probably.
Woo! Back in the days, but before the app days, boy,
Yep. That's it.
when you had to make a phone call to that man.
I know. The bookie. So
Yeah,
we'll be doing some sports picks section too. So if you got any off the top of your head, uh, while we're kind of
Uh,
looking down at the bracket, we'll kind of go through that though once we get there.
I've got a couple I've already eyeballed, but we'll throw them out there when we get there.
Yep. All right. Let's see here. We're gonna start off by recapping the conference tournaments. Were there any surprises for you?
Uh, wouldn't say there was any big surprises. I thought we were going to have a really fun one out there in the SEC with Ole Miss making a run. That would
Yeah,
have been, I mean, a straight up bid stiller. You know,
100%.
there's two teams that I'm looking at heavily that got in those 11 seeds that they would have taken one of their spots.
Yep. And I mean, Arkansas winning, that's huge for them and Coach Cal,
Yep.
with everybody thinking Florida was going to just walk away with it the way they were playing. But Vandy looks good too.
I tell you, man, there's about 4 or 5 teams out there in the SEC that can make a run.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, everybody was talking about you got this team out of the SEC and then the rest of them. You got this team out of the Big Ten and the rest of them. And I think, and even the ACC, I mean, dude,
Oh,
man,
absolutely. I mean,
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
everything's kind of coming together and teams are playing in March like they're supposed to be, and the gap is
exactly.
closing a little bit.
I don't think I think there was one surprise here. We got to bring up the Big East.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
I mean, I just think Michigan is by far and away a better squad than anybody in the Big East. But
Big Ten.
Big Ten, what did I say?
Yeah,
Big
yeah,
East,
yeah.
yeah,
No, it's fine.
it's Big Ten.
It's fine,
I mean, we've got so many conferences now. I mean, they just make them
dude.
every other week.
I know, and that's what we talked about last time. Is 18-team tournament in the Big Ten. It's crazy. And I
I
know, like,
mean,
you want to see those other teams kind of get a chance. I mean, perfect example, Ole Miss, like you said. I mean, if they would have made the run, that would have been cool. But I don't think. I mean, 18 teams is a lot.
it is, but I mean, realistically, are we arguing about those other 4 teams even making a run? If
Right.
they
That's
would have,
true.
great. But and
Yeah.
here's the other side of that thing. If one of them does sneak in, you have the rare NC State like we had. What
Yep.
was it last year, or was it last year or the year
Two
before
years
last,
ago,
making a run to the Final Four?
which
But
is
rarely do
crazy.
we have one of those high seeds coming out of one of the conference tournaments that make a run.
A
So
hundred percent.
yeah, I mean, I like seeing everybody have the opportunity, but realistically, who's watching that tournament until Thursday?
Right. And then, like you said, Purdue, man. Obviously, I'm unbiased. Don't watch. I watch all kinds of games, but
Oh yeah, the all-time
I had
ball
to
goer
keep
over there. I mean,
I had to keep my eye on that one. And Purdue, man, they turn. They're usually the opposite. They usually choke in the tournaments, and now they've turned something on. Braden Smith and Kaufman, they could not miss.
I would agree with that. That was
And
it was a fun game, fun game.
Michigan has the best inside defense with them three bigs, and I mean, they couldn't guard them. So all credit to Purdue there for the runs that they're on right now. And then it
Just
snuck
out
them
of
into a
cure,
2 seed.
yeah. I'm actually kind of curious on your thoughts with Michigan and their new guard that they got this year with coming over from a powerhouse itself. Mr. Elliot
Well,
Cadeau, I know how he likes to perform come tournament time.
dude, I'll tell you what, I was nervous about him because every Carolina fan, a turnover machine. And yeah, he still has some turnovers, but dude, the last 3 games, he actually stepped up for us big time. Michigan has not
Okay.
played like they should like they played during the year in the Big Ten tournament. Like the last 3 games, Michigan has played terrible. So I'm kind of nervous about that. But Elliot Cadeau, he's the one that stepped up when we need it. And I know he turns it over some, but uh, I think, and don't take this like this, but he's gonna have some good games, but I don't think he's gonna have 6 good games in a row. So losing LJ Kazin for us was bad, but Trey McKinney, that freshman, he's starting to ball out too.
Yeah, I agree, man. But no, it was, to answer your question though, all around, I think the conference tournaments were great. Not too many crazy big upsets, any big surprises there. But like I said, I think it would have been fun to see Ole Miss make the run that it tried to make.
Yeah, I agree with you. So what teams I know we just talked about Purdue. Any other teams that are catching fire at the right time, you think? Who's falling off?
So it's actually wild you mentioned that. So I was actually looking at the ACC, and there's a team in the ACC that did not sneak in, and I really thought if they could have pulled the upset against Duke in that first round, Virginia Tech,
Yeah,
they've got a squad out there, and they gave Duke everything that they could handle.
I
Um,
agree.
that McCray kid is something special.
Yeah,
He came out of South Carolina there, out of the Columbia area,
yep.
and I know a couple. I've got some buddies of mine that have kids that played against him in high school,
Hmm.
and I mean that kid is a stud, and he was starting to catch fire. But it's just realistically, I don't think there's any. I'm trying to think if there's any type of teams that made me say, "Oh my goodness, this is it." I don't think I really saw that other than the power, probably 5, 6 schools that I think can
Yeah.
win it all.
I know that Indiana, they were one of those bubble teams, and I mean, they blew it. I mean,
Yep.
I think if they win one game, they're in, and they couldn't do it. So, but
No,
they're
I would
not in
agree
it.
with
So,
that.
I mean, any of the teams, I mean, I don't think the one seats are falling off. I think the gaps is closing. Um,
I would agree with that statement. The other thing that you can say about these one seeds is, I mean, what is it? It's Duke, Michigan,
Florida
Florida,
and
and
Arizona.
Arizona. So Arizona is actually a team that I'm excited to talk about here in a little bit. But Arizona, I'm trying to pull up my bracket here.
Yeah, I
Give me 1 second.
think they got. Let me see.
There it is. So Arizona is going to be interesting, and I'll speak about it here in a minute. And I think it's going to come down to that Sweet 16 game, but we'll see if they can even make it that far. But Arizona's got some. I think they gave us more questions than answers, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah,
They're all season long. We've recognized. I mean, let's go ahead and state it. All season long, we've recognized the big four. Michigan, Duke, Arizona, and Florida. And I mean, you could even put Houston in there as well. So we kind of knew those guys all season long were playing well. They were going to make some runs. But I feel like Arizona here lately has actually, I wouldn't say fallen off, but maybe played with their food a little bit.
okay.
It kind of reminded me of what Miami liked to do in college football this past year,
Yeah, I
where
agree.
Miami would play with their food, and every game would be close, but they go up against the best in the nation, and they can play with them.
Yep.
And I think Arizona's doing that, and they might get caught here in March.
Well, going off that, that's what Michigan just did. I mean, they've been. I mean, you got to think they had. I think they had plenty of records this year, which one of them they just happened to beat Wisconsin, which who they lost to earlier in the year. So it was one of the first times a team, maybe the first time a team has beaten every team in the conference in one year. But I mean, they were blowing everybody out. And these last three games, man, I mean, they were losing at some point with 5 minutes left. And I think that's the same thing as you're saying. I think they did get called, obviously, with Purdue. Because I mean, last time they beat the brakes off of Purdue at
I was going to
Mackey
ask you
Arena.
that question. If I know the Mr. Baldover over there knows all these teams so well, but you know Michigan played so well throughout this. Just out of curiosity, did you catch many of Michigan's games this year?
Yeah, I watched quite a bit. They're the number one team in the country, so might as well, in
I
my
hear you.
opinion, my unbiased
But I
opinion.
was curious. I didn't know what they had done in their last game against
Yeah,
Purdue, so they smacked them though.
yeah, man. And at Purdue, and that's one of the toughest places to play if you know ball and watch ball like me. But yeah, I mean, but that's just the way they are, man. And there's some of the lower teams they struggled with, like Wisconsin. That was our only Big Ten loss earlier in the year. We had no issue or we had no reason to lose to them. But I mean, they were just on such a hot roll in the last 3 games. From watching them as much as I do, I couldn't believe it the way they've been
Right.
playing. Turnovers
So
are coming into play again.
yeah, we were talking about the conference tournaments. We can't go without talking about these conference tournaments without talking about the only undefeated team in the league in the NCAA losing a game.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah.
Miami, Ohio, dude. We'll get to the bubble teams later, but I mean that's a real. I mean they had probably some issues whether to put them in or not because their schedule does not do them does not help them at all. And then I mean I say if they win 1 or 2 conference tournament games, automatically in. But if they lose the first one, when I saw that, I was like, man, I don't know because I mean, you're gonna have to automatically put 2 teams from that conference in if you putting
So
them in.
exactly, you hit the nail on the head right there, and I think that's the problem that the committee had this year.
Right. And I'm glad we'll get into it, but I'm glad they did make it in and into a first 4 game. But we'll really see. I know SMU already is a big favorite, like a 9-point favorite. So
Ooh.
we'll see. I mean, if they can get by them, they'll prove everyone wrong. I think if they can win 1 game, they prove everybody wrong.
What are you talking about in the actual tournament, not in that first 4 game?
I'm talking about in the first 4. I think they're all saying they can't compete with the big dogs. Their schedule's too weak. I mean, SMU's not a cake. I mean, SMU's a
No.
decent team. Like, they're one of the big dogs. They're in the ACC.
Well, it's so funny you bring up SMU. I want to talk a little bit about them and getting into this tournament.
Yep.
So SMU's schedule did them.
You want to save that for the bubble teams?
Yep, yep. We can
We'll
save
do
that for
that,
a
and
minute.
we're almost there. All right. So your opinion, which speaking of all the conferences, which conference looks the strongest heading into the tournament right now? I know you got 10 SEC teams that made it, 9 Big Ten. I was kind of look earlier. I think maybe
I
eight
think.
Big
Well,
$12.
to answer your question, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, where we're so top loaded in the conferences.
Right.
Um, I can look at the Big Ten. We know what's dominant out there. We
Right.
look at the ACC. We know what's dominant there. We look at
Mm-hmm.
the SEC. We know what's dominant there. So whenever we ask the question, I think out of all the conferences, only one team from each conference has a legitimate chance of winning it.
Right. And I agree. I can agree with that. I think it's closer than people think than what 2 weeks ago everybody said the gap was like this. I think it's a smaller gap, but I do agree with you. I know that 2 out of 4 of those number 1 seeds both lost their conference tournament, but I still think obviously Michigan and Florida, I think they obviously have the best chance.
I mean,
Maybe you disagree.
I
I don't
mean,
know.
I think Duke has such a tough route as the number 1 overall seed looking at their bracket. I mean, you're talking about a team that if they make it through the first weekend, they're going to
Yeah.
have to go up against Kansas in the first round of the Sweet 16. I
Look,
mean, that's a tough ask of them.
and that's if because you know who when we'll go back to some of the hottest teams catching fire right now, and Ohio State is hot.
Yep.
And
Ohio State is
unbiased fan
lightening up right
here,
now.
I gotta say it. Ohio State is hot. I know Michigan beat them, but I mean that game was way too. I mean, you got to. I kind of compare it to when we played them the first time; they had never had a chance. To when we're playing them now, we just beat them, but we barely beat them. And if they
That game was
got
what, won by 3, 4 points?
yes, and I'm
Yep. And
telling you,
they
man, I
were
was so
they were up
nervous.
they were up late in that game, weren't they?
Yep, yeah,
And Michigan had to pull ahead.
yep. And luckily, Dusty May. I mean, every time you look at him, not that I pay attention as much, but every time
Right.
you look at him, when they get down, they're just so calm. Right, but and then I think they zoomed into him when they were down in that game, and he was laughing and making jokes with the players, like trying to keep them calm, not stressing out. Because I mean, they haven't really been in that situation much, which we'll get at later. I think the last 3 games actually helped Michigan. maybe not losing is bad to Purdue, but I think maybe losing to them woke them up a little bit. But I think them playing those close games, the last 3 games, gets them
What
ready.
do you think it's a Duke situation like Carolina did whenever Carolina came out and beat them, and then all of a sudden
Yes,
they just started punching
tour.
everybody in the mouth?
Yep. Because I brought this up. We lost to Wisconsin. We went on a tear of double-digit wins until obviously we met Duke, which Duke, number one team in the country. That was a great game. What do?
I
We lost
mean,
that game. We went on another tear. So I'm kind of hoping this kind of like put some fire under their butts and they get going in the tournament quick.
let me ask you this. Do you have any problem at all with Duke getting the number one overall seed?
No, I mean everybody's talking about how weak the ACC is, but that I mean they beat Michigan.
Look at their out of conference schedule, man.
Yeah, I know.
Look at that schedule. It was impressive. I mean, I just couldn't get over
Yeah,
how impressive that schedule was.
right. People can talk about how weak the ACC is, but they're a good, great ball team. I think them or Arizona deserved it. I'm not gonna say Michigan deserved it, but I do think Arizona's a great team, but I do think Duke has got to that number one spot and they've proved everything. They haven't lost a game since, so why are you gonna drop them?
Yeah, and you look at it. They lost 2 games this year. They lost to probably one of the greatest traditions in college basketball, but what's to be expected there?
Right,
Duke and Carolina. You never know how that game's going to go, and
right.
I mean,
I That's
Carolina
just like
pulled it off
Michigan
that
Ohio
night.
State football.
Yep.
2 year last year Michigan 20-point underdogs and goes in and wins. Same thing
Well, and here's the other thing. Their other loss was to Texas Tech early in the year, back in
when they had
December.
they had Top and Steel and all them, and
Yep.
they're
And I don't
they're
know.
actually
I mean, I'm
doing pretty
actually
well right now.
curious. Did Boozer even play in that game? Yes, he did. He had, yeah, he had 24 points in that game. So
Right.
yeah, and it was a high scoring game, 82-81. You look at the other game that they lost against Carolina, lost by 1 on a buzzer. Sorry, 3 by a buzzer beater. So I mean, they've lost 2 games this year by a total of 4 points. I mean, I don't
See
know
that? Yeah,
how
that's wild.
with wins against Michigan State, Michigan, Florida. I mean, right
Yeah,
there.
they. I'm not gonna go along with everybody else and say the ACC's weak. They're gonna get called. They might get called, but it's not gonna be because of that. They deserve the number one, I think.
I would agree
And I
with
know
that.
you. I mean, you're a Carolina fan, so it's
Yeah,
got to be tough.
it's hard to
Yeah,
keep my biases out there. You know what I mean?
and that's why I
Yeah.
try to stay unbiased here about Ohio State. They're getting hot at the right time. I just call it how I see it.
Well, like you said, who all the ball knowers in the world are, and I'd
Yep.
like to consider myself a little bit of a ball knower. And you got to know that,
That's why you're on
boy,
here.
when that's whenever you see that team, boy, whew, it's not fun. Let's say that.
Yeah, heck no. All right, let's move on to let's go over some of the bubble teams here. Um, Let me look at do you think the committee got it right?
I so I think everybody says this. I don't agree with Joe Lenardi on much,
Yeah.
but I am not going to sit here and argue with you over which team should have got in and should not have got in on the bubble. I mean,
Hey,
how many times are we talking about a bubble team that's making a run? It doesn't happen often. Now, I've got some opinions on why certain teams did get in on the bubble, but I'm not going to sit here and say they got it right, they got it wrong. I mean, we've got a field of 68 teams right now. I mean, does anybody outside of the top 68 teams really have a chance of winning this thing?
exactly. That's kind of my point too. And I know, like you said, you'll have those like the NC States, but what, how
Well,
many times
NC
that
State,
happened? One time,
but the NC State won their way in.
right? And
They
yeah,
didn't. It
that
wasn't
that
even
is true. I forgot about that.
they took it out of the committee's hands. You know.
Yeah,
So, like I
that's
said,
true.
I mean that's the reason why Keats was able to keep his job for another year.
Yeah, I think. Look, who was left out? Indiana, which I said I knew they would. Um, let's
Let's
see.
see here.
Auburn. That was a big thing. Obviously, with Pearl on the he's one of the CBS people now, but obviously he's going to fight for his son. But
Yeah, of
dude, you
course.
can't go 500 and make it in. I'm sorry.
No, you can't. Not. I
I
mean, and I would argue last year was a big exception to normal basketball years. The SEC from top to bottom was good, really good last year,
agreed.
really good. I look at this SEC team conference this year. I don't see that same kind of caliber of teams on there.
I agree with you. And we actually went over that last time. It kind of seems like the SEC was on the rise, and this is kind of like a step back year. And Tyler actually said it's uh, re, reality year for them. Like you're
Yeah.
not going to be at the top every time. There's going
Well,
to be
and
some great teams,
well, and here's
but
the other thing about it, and grand conspiracy theory here is, the SEC was ahead of NIL for they're on the forefront of NIL, right?
uh
Well, we're finally
huh,
getting to where these other conferences are catching up with NIL deals, especially in college basketball, when one player can make such a huge difference on a team. Whenever, these NIL deals and for these other programs now that are coming in, they're able to make offers to these guys like a Caleb Wilson that comes into North Carolina, and you can see one person makes that big of a difference on a team. So I think other conferences are catching up to the SEC, and that kind of is what brought them back down to reality a little bit this year.
yeah. And another one I was trying to find right here, Oklahoma. They had a chance too to get in, but they got left out.
Well, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and fight over the last four teams that got in. I'm just not going to do it. But
Right.
I will say this: the reason why one of those teams got in, and I've specifically wanted to bring them up, is they're in the ACC, the SMU Mustangs.
Okay.
So,
Yep. Go ahead.
so you look at their record. They finished. What they finish here? Uh, I got it. They finished. They finished with a. It doesn't matter. Not a strong thing. But you look at who they won to and who they lost against.
Okay.
So going through the earlier part of their schedule, they had a win against Butler, and I think at the time was a quad one win.
Okay.
Um, they lost to Vanderbilt at Vanderbilt, so that's not even a bad loss, right?
Yep.
They won against Texas A&M, and at the time that looked like a really strong win. They lost. They go on the road and lose to or at home they lose to LSU, and then they get a big win at home against North Carolina. So they get the
Okay.
big win against North Carolina. So now you got another quad one win when not a single quad two loss yet. Well, then we
Okay.
get to Clemson and Duke, both quad one losses. They go to Virginia Tech, get the win, and whenever they get the win, that gives them another quad one win. And then they lose to Virginia, a quad one loss. Every one of their losses were to quad ones. They had only one quad two loss against Syracuse because it was at home.
Okay.
So
So
they were a product. What I'm trying to say is they were a product. The reason why the committee had to let them in was because they don't have the bad losses. And I don't know if the committee looked at this year. Did they look at bad losses more than they looked at quality wins? Because you can argue every one of those bubble teams had a couple quality wins, but
right.
it's all about who they lost to. And
And who
SMU gets in for the favor of not losing, but to one quad two loss.
and I think that's a big thing. Win the games you're supposed to.
Yep.
If you win the games you're supposed to, you'll get in. I'm telling you. Because Auburn, you look at Auburn's record, they have some bad losses on here. I know a bunch of them are quad ones, but they have a few quad two losses, maybe a quad three when I was looking at it earlier. But even with that record, you're just not gonna got it. You're not gonna convince me that you deserve to be in.
Just not good
Especially,
enough.
especially you
Just
were
not good enough.
highly ranked at the beginning. Like, come on.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
and I know Stephen Pearl. He's young coach, obviously, and he's following his dad, which that's hard steps to follow, anyways. But the pressure there, I think that's a lot of pressure for him.
Well,
So
you,
we'll,
you know,
we'll
you
see
gotta
how he
look.
does.
you got to let these guys come into their own too.
I think so too. I mean, you see videos. He's always in the news now. Somebody said he's in the news more now than he ever was because, I mean, he's just. I mean, obviously he loves his son, so I get it. But he's got to.
Yep.
All right. Before we move on, everyone knows by now, I don't have any particular team that I cheer for. So what I want to do, a random team challenge. I'll mix a bunch of teams in a hat and draw at random, then talk about that team. All right, let me get this. Let's see. Unbiased CORIE here. Got all the teams in here.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited to see who we get to talk about.
All right, let's see. What do you know? The Michigan Wolverines.
Oh,
guys, random draw. I'm just gonna tell you right now.
Random drawing there.
31-3. Dusty May has his team rolling. I know they took the loss today, but they needed it. Dusty May's smart. He knows it. He knows he wants to go for the big one and not this little puny one. He won the regular season. Who cares? Let Purdue have their flowers and get on with it. Put the fire under these kids' butts and going into the big one. And let's go win a national championship. Or sorry, Michigan go win a national championship. But I'm telling you, that's the best coach in the nation. He won Big Ten Coach of the Year. Then you got Yaxel, Big Ten Player of the Year. He's been getting a lot of crap. Dude, he don't have to do as much with the team he's got around him. What do you expect? And when he turns it on, just like against Wisconsin, give him the last shot, and he'll hit that last shot. So that's my thoughts on Michigan, but we'll get back to regular scheduled episode.
Yeah, that's the only thing I was going to bring up about Michigan there was they've got a turnover prone point guard right now. That's going to be their biggest challenge.
So let me tell you one more thing about Michigan. I'll say, if you watch their games, I'm telling you right now, we score every single time Mara and Morez Johnson are down low. When we start getting our big guys up at the top of the key, getting the ball like this, we turn it over and we don't score. And that's what leads the last 3 games. That's what led to 9-0 and 11-0 runs from the other teams. It's because our offense, we can't score. We need a big man down there every time. I mean, you're 7'4". If we shoot a 3, we need you down there to get a rebound, not at the top of the key. What are you going to do at the top of the key? Well, I mean, no. Now let me tell you this: when it's a set play, a pick and roll, and I love when they do it, but you don't need more up there getting the ball and trying to dribble it because he turns it over every single time. Just get down low. Use Morez to freaking use the pick and roll. I'm just telling you that.
Don't we always say that March is about guard play?
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, I actually want to argue that a little bit. I think the game's evolving a little bit where you've always needed bigs, but I think we're becoming more reliant on bigs down low right now.
Dude, I'm telling you, today, what Kaufman did to us was crazy. But he couldn't miss. And he's got a floater from like 10 feet out that I swear every single one went in. What do you do? And we were in their face. But also, if you got some guards that can get hot from 3, I'm telling you right now, that's the way to win these games. But you got to have people rebound just in case they don't go in. All right, let's get on to March Madness, baby. The first 4 games. Yeah, I said that right. Not 4 games, but there's 2 first 4s, right? No, there is 4 first 4 games.
There's 4 games.
2 16-seed games and 2 11s, correct?
Yes.
Let's take a look at those.
Do y'all play does Michigan play the winner of Lehigh and Prairie View, or do they play the winner of Howard in Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say, you don't want to get Lehigh on that schedule, boy.
No. And dude, I'll tell you right now, UMBC, bro. I watched some of their games, and a bunch of their highlights. Dude, they can get hot.
Yeah.
And I'm so
Duke,
scared.
What happens whenever you go up against one of these 16 or 15 seeds? What can happen? Virginia, they know.
Dude, and that's what I'm so worried. I know Dusty May's a great coach, and this isn't going to happen to Michigan. But I'm telling you, the last 3 games were the worst 3 games we played all year. So he better step up. All right, let's see here. So out of the first 4 games, who would you like to see come out? Do you think they can win any games after that?
Well, the biased sports
Let's take a
fan in
look.
me, the biased sports fan in me on these 11 seed games just have to cheer for ACC schools. Even though NC State already won their national championship this year by beating Carolina earlier in the season. Uh,
Carolina
um,
also won theirs, right?
See, I don't,
I'm just kidding.
North 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 Carolina only wants the
Beating
big ones,
Duke.
but we want the big ones. We want the big ones. We expect the big ones. That's the reason why our coach is on the hot seat right now because they can't win the big ones. But that's another story. I think the
So let's look at Texas, NC State. You would like to see obviously NC State come out of there. Um, do you think they can beat BYU?
Texas, they've got Texas in the first round.
Yeah, but if they come out, they would play
Oh
BYU. Do you think they can win any games after
no,
this
no,
first one?
no,
No.
no, absolutely not. NC State is not a good team. They're just
Okay.
not. I mean, I've seen 5 of their games this year. One of them obviously being against Carolina, and that was their national championship game, and I'm not exaggerating. I mean that stadium was loud. They were rocking for them. The players on their team, it seemed like they were playing with a different energy level. Also, that was we didn't have Caleb Wilson in that game. That was their national championship, and I
Yeah.
think that win. Quite frankly, that win is what got them into the tournament. If they
Oh,
don't
I'm
have
sure.
that
Yeah.
win, yeah, that's the win that got them into the tournament. So no, they're not a good team. I think Texas would put up a better fight against BYU than NC State would.
Because BYU, old buddy, AJ DeBansta. I couldn't say his last name. Yeah, I
Debanza,
could. Yeah,
that's it.
I couldn't say his last name right.
I was thinking Demansky. I don't know what I was thinking there,
Yeah, I
but
knew that AJ something. I couldn't think of his last name. He's got a weird one, but I mean
yep.
that. But I mean, yeah, I think. But those 11-6 seed the games, they get kind of. There's always
Yeah,
one that sneaks through,
yeah,
and
usually.
that
And I
lead
mean,
that. Go ahead.
that that leads me to quite frankly why I'm a little bit nervous in this first round of the tournament going up against an 11 seed. You know,
Oh,
we got VCU. We got on that 6 line.
and they look
Um,
good today.
That yes, they did. Yes, they did. And
The other,
the VCU and North Carolina thing is one of those situations where you got one team who's kind of coming up, and you got another team that's kind of dropping back down to the pack.
yep. I mean, I'll say it out of the 6 seeds you got. Louisville's kind of coming down too, but I wouldn't want BYU. I'll tell you that. I
No,
think it'd be uh yeah, Carolina or Louisville to get. But going over to the other playing game, Miami of Ohio, SMU. I know we've talked about a lot about those two teams, but who you got in that one? You think
SMU
they
is
can
going to
do it?
smack them. No,
I
SMU is going
think
to
so
smack them
too.
in the face. Yeah, I mean that goes back to everything we were just talking about earlier. They beat
I
the teams that they were supposed to beat, and they're
Yep,
supposed to beat Miami, Ohio, so they'll be
they're
in there.
gonna that's a good point right there. And then do you think SMU can beat Tennessee?
I don't know. I really don't know. SMU's a weird team this year. You watch some of their games; they're not flashy. They don't jump off of the page at you or anything like that. But maybe, I mean, if I had to guess, whenever that game gets posted, it'll probably be a 3.5 point spread. You know,
Oh yeah, yeah. You think to Tennessee? Yeah,
to
because I mean
Tennessee.
all those 11-6, 12-5, they're closer than what the seedings say they are.
Oh,
All those
absolutely.
spreads are usually 5 or less. So
Yeah, you getting that 11-6, 8-9. You know, those games right there, you never know what can happen. You know what I
I
mean?
I agree. So
The 10
then,
set the 10-7 seeds. I mean, whenever we look at March Madness, let's let's be honest about it. Most of the teams that come out that are in the quote unquote Cinderella runs are in that 9 to 12 seeding,
yep,
right? It's very rare that we get a St. Peter's. You know, it's like that stuff just doesn't happen.
yep. And I know we're talking about first four, the UMBC Howard and the Prairie View and Lehigh. You think they have any chance at all?
I tell you what would be, boy, I would die laughing if that this ends up happening. if oh no, because Duke got the Siena. That's right. I was looking
It's
who
Florida. It's
it's
Florida and Michigan.
Florida. Boy, that would have been great if Lehigh came out of that and they would have had that seeding again, a possible matchup.
I think it's so bad for them two teams because Michigan and Florida just coming off a loss. I think they're
Yeah.
just ready to
Yeah.
smack somebody. To be honest.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm not worried about those games. I kind of count that as my time to take a break during March.
All right. Do you think is there any team that stands out to you that you are expecting a higher or lower seed? It's hard.
Yeah,
I
I
know.
think whenever I look at the seating, the committee, I'm not going to sit here and argue over the committee this year. I don't think there
Right.
was anything outrageous that they did. I wish they would have got our boys and queens. I wish they would have got them to a 14 seed. Instead, they're going
I'll
to have to go up against Purdue. You
I'll
know,
say Purdue though. Them beating Michigan today got them that 2 seed. That's huge for them
yep,
because they were sitting
yep.
there on 3 and 4, and they made 3 or 4 line, and they made that run in the Big Ten and beat them. That 2 seed is so good for them with
Well,
the run they're on.
well, and if going back to the bubble talk, a lot of times whenever we take a look at the conference tournaments that are going on, we're not necessarily the committee's not looking to put another team in or anything like that. Most of the time, what
Right.
they look at the conference tournaments there is for seeding. I mean, that's the
Right.
sole reason why they're looking at those games. They're not looking at it to say, "Oh, this team should get in." I mean, they looked at that body of work before that even happened.
Yep.
So I'm trying to look here, see if there's anything that looks kind of. Virginia made a jump, getting up to the 3 seed. That was big for them.
I think playing Duke pretty close and making their run as well
Yeah,
took a part into that.
yeah, absolutely. Clemson getting their win over North Carolina in that on Thursday night. That was big for them. That bumped them up a line. That kind of got them so completely out of that bubble talk.
Dude, I'll say though, they're going up against Iowa, and Iowa's a crazy 9 seed. I thought they were going to be a little bit higher than that. I mean, they've lost some games, but to some really good teams by barely anything. I mean,
Right.
they've
Well,
played them well, but I guess you have to put them out
where
there.
would you have put Iowa?
Um, yeah, because I don't. I'm
I
trying
mean,
to
because
think if
I'm
they could
let
jump,
me.
if they could jump Georgia, or I don't know. Yeah, you can't. I mean, that 8, 9, those 8, 9 teams are pretty much the same. I think. Well, I think Ohio State. They
I
probably
mean,
switched
I mean,
Ohio
because I
State.
mean, looking
Yeah,
at, yeah, I think you nailed it right there. The Ohio State and
one
Iowa,
made the one won a game in the Big Ten tournament, and the other didn't.
yeah,
So I think they
the
switched them.
yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there. I mean, because Iowa's 25th, Ken Palm's got them at 25 in the country. So I would
So
say,
I mean, if you think, yeah, so 8, 6. See, that's if they're 25th, like that's pretty
I mean,
high, right?
well, I mean that would mean that they lowered them, seating them lower because
Yeah,
you
no,
look at.
I'm saying I think they should be like a 7 or 8.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the committee's, putting them saying that there's probably 30 other better teams than them, 32 other better teams than them.
But Ken
Um,
Palm's got them at 25.
25. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So I think they should have been not higher. You know what I mean? Lower seeded.
Yeah. 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 They should have maybe gotten that 7 spot,
Yeah, I think so because that's a tough 9 seed for
7, 8. Yeah.
because I mean 25. I mean I know they got a whole bunch of different things, but if you look at that, 6 seeds 24.
Yep.
So I mean I don't know, but
Whenever,
again,
well, and going back to the point that you just made a while back, whenever you said, whenever we look at these um, 7 to 12 seeds, all those games are within 2 3-point spreads. So, I mean,
right?
what are we really arguing about at that point?
That's very true. So I think all those teams are going to be coming. I don't even know how they figure it out, but good for them.
Yeah.
They probably just put them in there.
I don't want to be in that room. Like I said, I'm not going to be the guy that's going to argue with the teams because I think that realistically this year there's 5 teams that can win the national championship. And if it's not one of those 5 teams, I'll be really surprised.
Agreed. Do you think any injuries are going to dramatically hurt a team's chances? I know
Duke,
Texas Tech had,
Duke,
yeah, yeah.
Duke. I
You can
mean,
tell, man. And I'll say this: Michigan losing LJ Case ever since then. That's when we started looking terrible. That like you said, if
is there a return for him? Is he coming back at any point?
no,
Okay.
he's done. So we had Elliot Cadeau, and when he had his off game, we would bring LJ Casey in, and we didn't miss it. He probably should have been starting, to be honest. But then we got Trey McKinney, which is more of a shooting guard. We don't really have a backup point guard now. So we got Yaxel bringing it up sometimes, Trey McKinney bringing it up. I mean, everybody can bring it up, but not like a actual point guard.
Point
So
run
that
the offense.
I think
And
it's
I
gonna,
mean
and he changed the pace.
that's where Cadeau runs the risk for Michigan in the turnover department.
Yep, because he will have his great games, but he will. I mean, he'll have his turnover
Believe me,
games
I'm
for
well
sure.
aware of what he can
I
do.
know,
I'm
but
well
he's
aware of
also
what he can
scoring a
do.
lot now, so we'll see.
Yeah.
But Duke, going back to your point, Duke, yeah, man, I don't know.
Uh,
Duke
you know,
is
I'm trying to
they
think,
that big boy
and you
better
know,
get back quick.
yeah, and Gogba better get back. Foster needs to, I don't know if he's coming back. I don't know
I
what
think they
the
said maybe Final Four.
okay, if he makes it back, he'll be able to make it back for the last weekend. So
Yep.
3 weeks out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean, I think Ngagbu is coming back. If I had to guess, they'll probably, even if he was ready to come back this upcoming weekend, they're not going to play him in that first game. They're
They
not.
shouldn't. They shouldn't. That'd be
Yeah.
so dumb.
You
Give them
know,
two 2 extra days.
yeah, give them 2 extra days. So, I mean, actually, well, it'll all
I would
depend.
say even the first weekend.
That's what I was thinking the first weekend because if they get a win on Thursday, they will be playing.
Saturday,
They'll
right?
be, yeah, they'll be playing Saturday and they'll be playing Ohio State or TCU, which
Oh,
realistically I think it's going to be Ohio State.
I do too. I mean, I think you maybe dress them out that game, but don't put them in unless you
Yeah,
absolutely have to.
yeah, and then unless it's getting like, hey, we need a big down there to, unless they're killing them down low, which Duke's defense is smothering as it is, so I
Right,
don't think they really have anything to worry about.
right. All
Um,
right,
the
go
only other
ahead.
injury was, you know, my biases showing through a little bit.
Oh man, that's a
You
huge
know,
one.
probably one of the top five players in the country going out and breaks his wrist in a game against Miami that was kind of some weak sauce on a weak sauce play. But then goes in, gets cleared, is in warm ups, dunking the ball and
Practice.
breaks his thumb. You
That's
know,
so dumb. Like, come on,
yeah.
man. You know how much you mean to this team.
Whenever he went out, I kind of shut down for the season. But hopefully we can get a win on Friday. I think we play on Friday.
You think
I'm
one
not.
win is a win for you guys? Like
No, I mean
meet
that's. I mean that.
expectations?
No, it doesn't.
No.
Not here. I mean, why do you think Schubert's on the hot seat? I mean,
Oh,
all
that's true.
is and this I say he's on the hot seat. He's on the hot seat from all the fans because building the roster is a part of the head coach's job. Is arguably one of the biggest things that the head coach does.
Yep.
Now, granted, you might get one top prospect, but right now we're seeing you've got to have multiple top prospects to be able to make runs at this thing.
Yep.
There's John Shire over there in Duke has done a tremendous job with a whole new team this year, and
Yep.
they're back in the same boat they were last year. Those are the expectations here on Tobacco Road. I mean,
I've
that's just
heard
what they
that.
are. The
It,
expectations are national championship or nothing. That's just
and,
kind of what we want. And
and
that's
it
the reason why
hasn't been
he's a
too
little
hot
bit.
lately.
Listen, man, 2016 has been a while back.
Shoot, don't get me started on that. Because I've seen two national championships for Michigan. Not that they're my team or anything, but we've lost
Nah,
them. We lost them both.
yeah. Well, listen, I was there. Carolina was there. What was it? 4 years ago, and lost to Kansas. We were there in 2018,
18
and we lost to Villanova. No, that was the year we
buzzer.
won. The year we lost to Villanova would have been 2000. I think we went. It might have been 14. Yeah, we lost in 14 on the buzzer beater. So I know what it's like to lose a national championship. Been there, done that. Um,
It
it
sucks.
happens. It happens.
It sucks, that's for sure. I mean, the only issue with Carolina's side of the bracket, I mean, Illinois is good. So if they beat VCU, and VCU's good, I'll tell you that right now. I just think it's going to be tough to beat them without your best player. Quick, which one seed looks the scariest? Which one do you think has the biggest chance of getting bounced? We don't have to spend. We've been talking about them a lot, but
Yeah, well, I mean, whenever they're number one seeds, there's a reason why. I think of the one seeds,
so you got Florida. They'll be win that first
Arizona,
game.
Arizona,
Arizona. Who they
Arizona.
got second?
They've
Villanova,
got,
Utah, but then Wisconsin they could possibly uh, face.
yep, yep.
I mean, you got to look at Duke though. I mean, Ohio State and
Duke,
St. Johnny's.
so the argument for Duke is as the number one overall seed, I think they've got the toughest path to win the NCAA tournament.
Bro, Rick
Uh,
Pitino and the freaking March Madness. You better
yeah,
watch out.
yeah. I mean, you go against Ohio State most likely. Ohio State, you're playing probably the winner of Kansas and St. John's. And that's in the first round of the Sweet 16.
Right.
After you get to the Sweet 16, you're looking at probably a game in the Elite Eight. You're looking at a game against
Michigan State or
Michigan,
UConn.
Michigan State or UConn. I mean,
Yeah,
that's a
that's tough.
that's a path, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
and then we know obviously whenever they make it to the Final Four, it doesn't matter. Everybody's good. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
very rarely do we have a Purdue NC State situation come through.
I'll say on Michigan side, Georgia, St. Louis, obviously they've been ranked towards the 24 25th ranking pretty much all year or towards the second half of the year. And then Georgia, they can score with anyone. I don't think Texas Tech is going to be a huge problem. Alabama at 4 is scary, but they're I don't know, they're so iffy. Like they'll have really good games and really
Michigan
bad
would be
games.
playing them in the Sweet 16.
And then you're looking at the Elite Eight. I mean, Virginia. I don't know. Virginia doesn't scare me because I've seen them in the maybe because I've seen them in the tournament too much, and
Yeah,
losing all those games. But and
yep.
then Iowa State. I don't know.
I would argue that Michigan probably has one of the easiest routes to the Final Four.
I think so too, and I don't want to overlook them because I think the two scariest are Alabama and Iowa State there.
Yep. And I mean, I wouldn't exactly be scared to play those games.
No,
It wouldn't surprise
we've
me. It
played
wouldn't
plenty of
surprise me if
teams.
Michigan's 8.5 point favorites in those games.
Okay,
I
I
know
hope
that's a
you're
big
right,
number, but
dude, I know, and I'm telling you, like the big, like Purdue, Wisconsin. I mean, Wisconsin's beat the top 4 Big Ten teams. Like that conference is heavy, and
yep.
we got through those games. Obviously, Purdue got us last time, but or today, but we'll see how it goes. Let's see here. Moving on to the 2, 3, and 4 seeds. All right, so this is what you kind of want to talk about. Which out of these teams, who has the best shot to win it all? Who do you think
Houston.
has a
Houston.
chance? Houston?
Houston. I'm looking at their bracket. They would go against Idaho. They've got St. Mary's ranked higher than Texas A&M. You know, we were talking about rankings. I mean,
Yeah.
that one looks a
I
little.
mean, I think that's what I'm saying. Like, what makes them jump? I don't know how they get
I
it,
don't know.
but
Yeah, I don't know how they got there. So most likely you're looking at they wouldn't play. Oh, here's a list of the teams, and we're not going to include those guys. Possible teams that they'd have to play: St.
Illinois.
Mary's, Texas A&M, North Carolina, Illinois, VCU, Penn, and I'm trying to look
That's
at
to
top
the
half.
Elite Eight, right?
Yep, that's to the Elite Eight, and none of those teams. Houston will be double-digit favorites in almost every one of those games. I think.
I agree with you. I
And
think
they wouldn't
maybe
until they get to the Elite Eight game against Florida.
and that's if Florida. I think the top half of that bracket's worse
The
or
top
like
half,
harder.
What's interesting about that bracket is everybody but Houston and Florida are going to have tough matchups.
Yeah.
I mean, that is. I mean, you look at let's see,
Nebraska
and
and
Troy. Yep, and Vandy. Let's see. Clemson can get out there and strike somebody. That's the only one that Florida's got to go through that I think would even has a chance of Florida and or Clemson and Vandy. And then let's see.
Dude, Florida might get their revenge. Vandy just smacked Florida.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
they smacked them to knock them out of
Yeah,
the SEC. So that'll be a good matchup if Vanderbilt can get there.
it'll be fun. Yeah, that'll definitely be a fun one. But no, nothing else of the two. I'm trying to look
I
at some of
think
these.
I think if
What about
Purdue
what do
can
you
get
think
hot,
about Iowa State?
dude, they're another team that when they're on, I think they can beat anybody in the country. But when they have that off game, I'm not even worried about them.
Yeah.
And then Purdue, man, I keep getting stuck on Purdue. Like, you got Purdue in Arizona's bracket. That'll be a good matchup. Because I don't think Missouri, Miami, Gonzaga's way. I don't think Gonzaga's good at all. And BYU, they would have to go through to get to Arizona. So just watch out for Purdue.
Uh, I don't know, man. Purdue's got to get through our boys over here at Queens.
Yeah, we'll see
Hey,
about that.
that's a good squad over there. Speaking
Hey, you get
of
hot from three. I'm
yeah,
telling you.
Queens. What a lot of people might not even realize what's going on over there with that program. This is their third year to be NCAA tournament eligible, or the first year that they're NCAA tournament eligible. They just made the jump up 2 years ago. Last year, they won their conference tournament. They should have been in the tournament last year, but the rules had not yet changed to where Queens could get into the tournament. They're building a
Oh,
program down there, and don't be surprised that that game's a lot closer than what the spread is.
so this is their first year they can make the tournament and they made it.
Yep, and
That's
they would have made it last year, but they
but they
weren't.
couldn't.
And here's the funny part: the NCAA, of course, with all the rules and stuff going
I
on
think
right
I
now,
remember
who knows?
that.
Yeah, who knows how to keep up with it? But they changed the rules this year that there's no longer a waiting period to get
Oh my god.
into
So they
playoffs
missed
or
it by 1 year.
Yeah, and it's like, well, it's a little late for that rule now. And Queens is the reason why, of course, probably they fast forwarded that rule a little bit. It's like, hey, you want
Yeah,
to make the jump and you're good enough. I mean,
do it.
we're talking two different leagues whenever we're talking football and basketball. Like you said,
Oh, way
somebody
different.
gets hot. St. Peter's gets hot. Florida Gulf Coast comes out of there and has Dunk
Princeton,
City on
yep.
you. You know, teams can get hot, man. And like I said, and the interesting thing is over the past few years, we have had a 2 seed get upset.
I
And
know. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, and that leads to my point or my next question. Do you think any of these teams will lose in the first round? 2, 3, and 4 seeds. I can almost
yes,
guarantee it, obviously.
yes. I can,
But who do you
and
think is going to be that team, or which two teams?
which two teams? I think number one, you said 2, 3, or 4 seeds.
Yep.
Um, I believe. Let's see here. Michigan State could get beat by Louisville easily.
No, first round.
Oh, first round. The only one I think that's even, I don't know, something always happens, but
I know it's hard to
my
pick
my,
though. Like,
my
what do you
crazy
pick?
my crazy thought is really that Queens. If somebody said, "Hey, Corey, you got to pick one of these," I would probably say Queens over Purdue. I know it's
Okay,
crazy. I'm gonna go bold here.
Queens over Purdue.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going with, dude. I am going. I just because of their history. I'm going Wright State over Virginia.
That's a good one.
I,
That is a good one.
dude, I swear they just. I don't know. I think if you can score some games, if you can score 60 points on Virginia, you can win that game
Yeah,
if they're
I
not good.
agree.
So
Yeah,
I think the other ones. I was gonna say I was looking at um the Alabama one too, but I don't know if they're missing, but I just I think they're too good for them for Hofstra,
yeah, I agree.
and then maybe Troy, Nebraska, but Nebraska's been pretty hot lately. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with is Virginia And then Gonzaga, I think they're a little seated
Hey,
too high or too low, whichever one.
all I want is whenever this big upset happens over Queens over Purdue, I want to make
Uh,
sure I get a phone call from you.
you will. You'll be the first one.
All righty.
All right. So everybody knows one of the biggest upset matches every year is the 5 and 12 seed.
Yes, it
So
is.
let's look at
Woo!
these. And you tell me if you were the one of the 5 seeds, which 12 seed would you be scared of the most?
So I'm gonna go straight. I'm just gonna look at the 5-12 seed games that are actually out there. You got St. John's against UNI.
Mm-hmm.
UNI, what was it, 4 or 5 years, 6 years ago, went on that big run. It's been a while since they've had some winning basketball there in at UNI. Actually, no, it's been a decade already. I remember them talking about it. It's been 10 years since UNI made that run. Um, I still just think St. John's is a good school. I think they've got some good ball players out there. I think they handle business. And then over in the West, we got our boys right up the road at High Point.
Yep, dude.
And
What? Go ahead.
and playing up against Wisconsin, if Wisconsin's even napping a little bit, High Point can win that. I think the game could be the other way around. I think Wisconsin's favored by 10.5. I think High Point could win by 11 points.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, these two teams ride or die by the three. If one is hitting and one's not, it's over.
Yep.
Who
Yep.
is going to hit? And they got that one kid. I brought this up last time. High Point's got that one kid. What was his freaking name? It was Chase Johnson, and he's taken 140 total shots, and he's only attempted 4 2-pointers. He missed all of them. So if imagine this, if I'm High Point, I'm letting this kid shoot 15 threes.
Yeah, let him cook,
He's
man.
got a great percentage from three, and I mean that's all he does. Put him in the corner, let him be. We call it the Jack Golke effect.
Yeah.
That one
Yeah.
dude that went off that year.
Yep.
But I think that's probably. Uh, let's see. Let's look at the other two real quick. But
Let's look down.
I am picking that upset. I'll tell you that right
Yeah, I think you and I are both going to be on that. The Midwest brackets, looking at Texas Tech and Akron. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm looking at the spreads in all these 5-12 games. That one's got the closest spread on it
now.
at 7.5. I don't know much
That's
about
the
Akron.
closest.
Yep. The 5-12
Holy
Texas
crap,
Akron is 7.5. Um, McNeese and Vandy is 11.5. We
dude.
just talked about 10.5 on the High Point game, and in the St. John's game is 11.5.
Dude, I'll
So
tell you right now, I'm taking probably the plus the points in all those. I swear these games. I mean, you're bound to hit 2 of them, but they
yeah,
could all possibly be closer than what these spreads are. And I think most years they are
You got
five
to
or
win
less.
65% of them though to be profitable on it, man. That's where you got to
Dude,
be at. So I
if
mean, you
you
can't
follow
go
it,
500 on that.
if you follow my unbiased sports picks, you know I'm hitting at like 78%.
Whoo, that's strong, boy.
And I've been keeping up with them over there on TikTok and Instagram. So, but yeah, I think I'm going with the High Point one. I don't see. I mean, Akron. See, this goes to my point with Akron. Everybody complained about how weak that conference is with the Miami of Ohio. So you know they're not as good as I don't know. That's
I
where my head goes. I think they were just complaining about a team being 31-0 and almost not getting in or
yeah,
talking about it. And
yeah,
you want to think somebody's going to upset out of that same conference that's not them? I don't think so.
yeah, I would agree. Um, yeah, like I said, I think I'm gonna roll with you on that pick.
All right, sweet. Now, upsets, just as a whole, looking at the bracket, give me a few teams that you could see getting the upset this year. And who do you think the lowest seed to win will be?
Um, I think let's do this through the Elite Eight. I think the highest seed making it to the Elite
Okay,
Eight
I like that.
is I
I think
think
you
we
got
see
to look
I
at.
think we see a 6 seed maybe. I don't see anybody higher than that. I don't. I just
I don't,
don't. That we're so weighted
unless
this year.
I know, and I know they haven't been good, and they're compared to what they have in the past. Kentucky at 7 seed. Um, if they can somehow upset Iowa State, I think they'll get there because I
You
think they
think
can
so?
beat. I
You
think,
think they'll make it to the Elite Eight?
yeah, I think they can beat Virginia.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
think they
yeah, I
could
can
beat.
see
Yeah,
that.
I think they can beat Virginia
Um,
if they can get past them.
here's another one that's actually kind of crazy. Maybe Miami at a 7 seed can
Yeah,
make a
I just
run.
saw. I was looking at that too. It depends on which
Um,
Purdue you get, but if you get the same thing,
well,
if you get
whenever Queens comes out of there, they've only going to have to go up against Queens in the second round.
yeah, that's true. So you
You
get
know?
past Queens. I think if you can get past Queens, you'll get past Gonzaga. And then you got UCLA, the 7 seed over on the other side. Um, they're Mick Cronin over there. He's got that team hot right now, but I can't. UConn, Hurley in the March Madness. I don't think they're going to get it done.
Yep, I
So
would agree with that.
yeah, I think maybe a 7 seed to the Elite Eight sounds about right. One of those
Actually,
teams.
so here's one I'll throw at you that actually might be a little bit bold. Um, VCU. Um,
Oh,
my
okay,
my unbiased opinion here. VCU could very easily win that game against North Carolina. I
gotcha.
think they could give Illinois a good run. And
Okay,
if they're on a heater like that and they get some
you,
confidence and they come in against Houston, you
uh,
never know.
you can see that, and I mean we've had a bunch of 11 seeds lately make it pretty far.
Yep. So VCU and like you said, they're not. It's not like they're not used to winning over there. They've made some runs in the past.
They know, yeah,
They
they
know
know
what
what
it's
they're
about.
doing.
Yep.
No 10 seeds look that good. So yeah, I think you're spot on with that.
Because I'm looking at VCU here. Um,
Is that going to be your Cinderella team?
no, I mean,
I think I'm going with our boys High Point.
yeah, that might be it. That might be it.
I'm serious. If they can get that 3 point percentage up there and hit those things,
Yeah, yeah, no, I agree. I was trying to see when it was that Shaka had left out there to see when it was the last time they really made some runs out there at VCU.
when was the last run?
I was trying to think.
I mean, that's another thing is coaching. Coaching comes a long way into this March Madness.
Yes, um, he was. Sorry, he was at Marquette. That's where he's
That's
at
who it was.
now.
That's what it was.
Yeah, yeah. No, he was at VCU 2009 to 2015.
Okay,
So, like you said, that was the last time they were really making some moves out there.
gotcha. So VCU. All right, let's get into. I know we've talked about the bracket a lot. And I know you got one filled out. If you want to go through, I had get. Did you do your bracket?
I have not done my bracket yet.
All right, well, let's kind of just go through it real quick.
All right,
Um,
let's I'll do on some on the fly stuff.
yeah, just go.
Um,
Actually, just do it real quick, and
all right, here's
I'll cut
here's what
this
I
section out and come back into it.
that's fine. If I had to just do it on the fly,
All I want is like your Elite Eight, Final Four champion.
okay.
So
Let's
let's
do
both do it real quick,
okay, let's see.
and I'll.
I can't do I tell you what, let me just give you a final four.
There you go. All right, just give me the Final Four.
Okay, final four. I'll do this real quick. Out of the East, I'm going to have Duke coming out of it. Out of the South, I am going to have Houston coming out of it. Out of the Midwest, I'm going to have Michigan coming out, and out of the West, I am going to have Purdue coming out of it.
Okay, so you got. Oh, okay. So you got Purdue. Michigan, Houston, and Duke.
Yep.
All right. I have UConn, Arizona, Michigan, and Illinois.
Ooh, that boy got bold.
Yep, I got that. I got
What
two
do you
one
see?
seeds
What do you
and
see
two
in
and
the
three.
fight now?
Dude, I've trust me, I've watched a lot of Big Ten ball this year,
Okay.
and
Okay.
when they get on their streaks, they get on their streaks.
Okay. All right. Fair
Now
enough.
it goes the other way. When they get on their down streaks, they get on their down streaks. That's kind of one of those. If they get hot, I think they can make the Final
If
Four.
if they get hot, they're good to go. If not, I get it. I get it.
It's they're done. And I have UConn and Michigan in the final.
Okay. In the final, um, I will have Duke and I have Duke and Michigan coming out into the
That
championship
rematch.
game.
Let's
Yeah,
get
that'd
that
be fun.
rematch.
That'd be fun. This is all dependent on players staying healthy, but
Yeah.
injuries are of course part of the game, and getting some
Yep.
guys back. But I just think whenever I've seen Duke play this year, they are just outright smothering on teams. I mean, they're just so good.
I agree. And I have Duke. The only reason why I have Duke losing to UConn is because of that. I just think it, and that's before if UConn isn't a team where you can have some players out and just slide by. And I
Yeah.
think Caleb Foster being out they might run into a UConn team that gets them.
Yep.
But my national champion, unbiasedly, is Michigan. They're going to give Hurley that fat L, and Michigan's going to hold up the trophy. It's going to take Dusty May 2 years only to get Michigan national championship.
I am going to agree with
Oh, let's
that.
go.
Yes. I just don't think Shire can get the big one done.
Nope.
I just don't think that. I mean, the narrative around these parts will always be until he does it, can he win the big one? And
Agreed.
he has not done that yet, and he has not given me any reason to think he can do that yet.
And he
I, when
also
I
had
look
a very good team last year.
when I look at last year's team,
Dude,
they should have beat any college basketball team that's almost ever existed.
I agree, dude. I'm telling you, like, and when did they lose? The Final Four?
Final Four.
To
I think NC State. No, that was
Florida or
a few years.
Houston?
It must have been Florida. I
No,
don't
it was
recall.
Houston. It was Houston because Florida beat Auburn.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Yep.
yeah, I agree with you, man. Like, you can't tell me I can't walk them to the
Well,
championship
you
when
hit the
they had
nail
the
on.
team last year and they got their guard out this year.
Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head earlier whenever you said a lot of this comes down to coaching.
It does. I'm telling you, these games, especially that deep in the tournament,
Yep.
that deep in the tournament is really going to come down to coaching. And unbiased here, I really do think Dusty May is one of the top coaches out there. I mean,
He's a
two
top
year,
three coach. He's a
two
top three
yeah,
coach of the year.
2 years ago, Michigan had 8 wins. Last year, you see what he did. Now this year,
Who wins national coach of the year?
probably Arizona's coach.
You don't think Shire with what he's doing right now?
Man,
Completely new team.
so did they? I mean, that's like Michigan.
Yeah.
We don't have one starter from last year. Besides Burnett, but
you also had a starter that came from one of the top schools in the nation.
Oh my God, y'all ran him out of Carolina.
Yes, we did.
And I'm so glad right now because he is now. I don't want to eat my words there, but he's been
I don't
killing it
know.
for us. We'll see.
Yeah.
That's
Good
it.
for
Michigan,
Elliott though. I'm happy for
yeah.
him, man. I'm glad he's found a place where he fit in. I don't think here in Carolina that he was. It just wasn't the right fit.
And that's a lot to
Whenever
do
you
with
had
it too with these kids.
yeah, whenever you've got two point guards that are almost the same player with Seth and Elliott, and then one of them's a senior. It's a rough spot to be in.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so there we go. We're moving over to the trivia section.
We got some
I put,
trivia?
yeah, there's the Do You Know
Okay.
Ball board, top five leaderboard. There's only been one person, obviously.
What's the
Um,
score to beat right now?
10. 10 out of
10.
14. You're gonna have
10 out
11,
of 14.
11
Okay.
questions, I believe, and some questions will have half bonus points questions.
Okay.
I kind of threw this together. I will say this one's probably harder than the last one because I
Oh,
ran
joy.
out of March Madness questions. But at
All
the end
right.
of the year, if you're on this top five leaderboard, you come back. I'm bringing all five people back to do a Do You Know Ball final, and that
Okay.
person will win the grand prize.
Let's see
All
if I
right,
know ball.
let's see if you do. Here we go. I gave him a freebie last time, so I'm gonna give you a freebie, literally a
Okay.
freebie. If you get
All
this
right.
wrong, we're gonna just cut it off.
Okay.
What's the mascot of the University of North Carolina's basketball team,
Ramsey.
or like the Tar Heels?
Yeah,
But
Ramsey. His
yeah,
name's
Ramsey.
Ramsey.
There you go. That
Hey,
that
I
should
got him
actually
right
be a
here. That's
bonus.
Ramsey right
That
there,
should be a
huh?
bonus point
You see
for you.
Ramsey up here in the corner?
I do see that. Look at old buddy up there,
Yeah, he's up here chilling.
looking over your shoulder, giving you some hints.
That's right.
All right. Who is the winningest coach in NCAA men's basketball tournament history? And let me tell you this: you get one hint to use, but once you use it, you're done. Think
It,
about it.
it's either it's
And I'll
gotta
tell
be
you,
it's
I
gotta
kind
be
of
K. It's gotta be K. I'm gonna go with Coach K.
final.
Yeah,
Yep, that's it.
yeah.
All right.
I knew it was close there because he made. I remember whenever he passed Dean, and it was a huge deal. Um, and I was just trying to think. I mean, he's just been. They were so consistently good for so long, and I was thinking Roy might have had a run with them, because Roy's up there too. You know, whenever he was at Kansas and North Carolina.
Yep. And I kind of went based on like with Tyler. What I did is I know he's SEC guy and uh over there, so I kind of went based on like you. Okay.
Okay, all right, all
On
right,
some of them, not all of them. Some are just broad, but the
all right.
next one we got was the lowest seed to not win the tournament.
Hold on, say that question
So,
again.
what is the lowest seed to not win the tournament yet? So, if you're thinking like 16 seed hasn't won it, 17 or 15, 14, 13, 12, 11,
Oh, so what's
where
the lowest seed that has won it?
that has not won it. So, like,
So a 16 seed.
no, but the other way. The way the question is like, which way?
Oh, so if I think an 11's what has won it, I would say a 12.
Right, and it's gonna
Okay.
right. So you want to keep going
Okay.
down until you think the lowest seed.
Okay. Okay. Let
So
me think
one,
about this.
two, three, 4, 5, 6, whatever.
Okay. Okay. I would say, let's see here. I'm trying to go through. I know there's been
So
because
kind of start out with like
St. Peter's made it to the Final Four and got smacked by North Carolina. That was a 15 seed
I would
or
say
four.
do
That
I
was
would
a
say start
14
at
seed.
one seed. One seed's won it. Two seed
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying
work
to
from
think
there.
here. Yeah, I know one. I know two. I know a six. I already know a six has won it. Um, because North Carolina won it as a six. Um,
Go through them though.
I'm gonna say a 12 seed because I'm pretty sure I know an 11 seed that's won it. I want to say it was like for like I want to say it was like a.
I think you're going the wrong way. Like, do you think an 8 seed's won it?
So I know a six has won it. I know.
Go through all of them.
You know what? I'm gonna stick with nine. I don't think anything past the 9 seed has won it. Five?
5 seed has not won it. One,
Really?
one, two, three, four, skip five, six, won it.
What was it? What
Five
was it
seed.
after that?
I think seven.
7 was the highest that it got to.
I think so.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what I was like, go through. I was trying to help you, but I wouldn't have
Okay, I
thought
get
that
it.
either.
Yeah.
That
No, I would
question's
have
kind
thought a
of
5 seed. So 5 seeds never won the tournament.
five seeds never won the tournament.
Huh.
That's why them, and it's always about them 12-5, and it's the most
Yeah.
upset. Um,
Yep.
all right, and remember, you still got a hint. Who currently is a tough one? Has the longest streak for consecutive appearances? Think of the coaching we were talking about. Think of the good coaches.
Yeah, it's got to be Duke. They haven't not made the tournament in forever. It's got to be Duke.
Keep thinking. This one has nothing to do with you. I'll just
The longest
I'll give
the
you an extra hint because that one's kind
No,
of
hold
tough.
on, hold on. You said the longest streak of making the NCAA tournament, right?
Yeah.
Is it some crazy? Oh, give me a conference.
So
That's
you
my
want
hint.
your hint? All
I
right.
want my hint.
So whenever I give a hint, it pretty much gives it away. But the Big Ten, he's one of the greatest coaches and one of my rivals, one of Michigan's rivals.
One of Michigan's rivals, Ohio State,
Think about it.
Vandy,
No,
Purdue.
Big Ten. Think of the coaches. Tom
I don't know.
Izzo.
Oh, Michigan State.
God
God,
dang. I'll
God
get,
dang. Michigan State.
oh my,
Oh,
that's like our biggest basketball
nah,
rival.
nah. Okay, yeah, nah. I missed that one. I
Yeah, so
really. How long's their streak?
I want to say it was 27. Hold on. I'll tell you right now.
They haven't missed the tournament in 27 years.
Correct. Tom Izzo has never missed a tournament.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
Golly, I
that's
should have
why I
stayed.
try to.
You should have stayed on. I should have went down the great coaches list. That would have that would have helped me.
So
Anyway,
Michigan State, this was 2024. They had 26. So yeah, they're at 27,
holy cow.
which
Oh,
is. Wonder what Duke's is.
it's. I mean, it's up there too. It's got to be up there. I would say because I mean, Duke has not missed the tournament in a long time, dude.
24.
24. Okay, so they missed it back in what would that have been? 02?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. All right. It's kind of how many one seeds made the Final Four last year? For half a point,
Four.
name the
Four.
teams. Name the teams for half a point.
Duke, Florida, Houston, and uh, was it
You got it. Come on. We just talked
Purdue?
about it. We just talked about it.
I just did. So it was Vandy or Houston, Florida, Duke.
Who beat? Who lost to Florida? We just said it.
Vandy? Didn't I say it?
No, they weren't a one seed.
I don't know. Who was it? Who was the last four?
Auburn.
Auburn. Oh my God.
They beat Michigan.
That's
That's all
right.
right.
That's right.
You still get it right. All right, let's see.
But I just didn't get my half a point, huh?
Yep. Let's see here. So before you answer this, think about it because I think you mentioned it earlier and it wasn't right. How many times has a 16 seed beaten a one seed
One.
for half a point? Name those
One.
teams.
Virginia against UMBC.
Hey, it's not one. You've talked about this team.
Lehigh and Duke. Virginia lost as a one seed.
Yes. There's
Oh, that same year, another one happened. That same
I
year, it was
don't I
two.
don't know if it was the same year or not, but it was close to this. But
Yeah, so it's two of them that has happened to, and the other one was like I said, I know Virginia. I think it was Virginia and UMBC,
yeah, that's
and
one.
I think the other one was I don't know. I can't remember. I don't know.
FDU, Fairleigh Dickinson against Purdue.
Uh, yeah, yeah, I forgot about that. That was the same year. It was like the craziest thing.
That is wild.
It had
All
never
right,
happened, and it happened twice on the same day.
that's so stupid, isn't it?
Yeah, and it in sports
And
ridiculous.
it hasn't happened since.
Yeah.
All right, what is the lowest seed to ever reach the NCAA men's basketball championship game?
I would say an 11.
Half point. Name one of the two teams. This has happened twice. The championship.
It was it? It's got to be an ACC team. Got to be NC State. Um,
They
and
didn't.
no,
They didn't make the championship.
NC State was the Final Four. That was the Final Four team.
Okay.
That was
This one's kind of a tough one
yeah,
because it
I can't
happened.
name the team. I
Well,
don't know the half a point.
I'll get. Well, it was an 11 seed.
What was it?
8.
8, really?
Villanova in 1985 and Butler in 2011. They everything else. Every 11 seed has made just the Final Four.
Okay, okay. God, I mean,
Yeah,
it
that's
gets
tough. Some of these are real tough.
yeah. I was about to say because I could have swore one of those 11 seeds had made it. Because I mean, yeah. Well, actually, I don't know, man. Because that's usually whenever their runs in, they don't ever make it to the championship game. Yeah, that makes sense.
I'll give you a little easy one here. Who was Sister Jean?
Tee me up, huh?
Who was Sister Jean a fan of?
Sister Jean is
Come on,
the Charlotte, not Charlotte,
come on,
oh,
you
I can
got it.
see their uniforms.
I
They're
know
yellow. Oh my gosh, they're yellow and like
you
that
got it.
mahogany brown color, like that mustard yellow.
You got it.
Uh, starts. I want to say it starts with a C. No. Oh my God, I can
It's
see.
two
I can
words.
literally see them. I
Two
know.
words.
I know. I can literally see this team in my head.
If I wouldn't ask, you probably would have known.
I know you. Yes. I don't know what. Who is it?
Loyola Chicago.
Loyola. See, I was thinking Chicago, but I couldn't. I would have never got to Loyola.
I thought you were gonna say
I had
Chicago.
C. I was like, Chicago. Yeah.
All right,
Anyway.
let's see. Yeah, these are tough. Like
Here,
this one, you just got
oh,
to
I
think
got it. Tee me
broad.
up.
Which state has produced the most NCAA men's basketball championship winning teams?
What
Think,
state?
yeah, think of how many teams come out of each state. Think of
I would. I mean, Michigan State. I'm trying to think out there. North Carolina, you got Duke, Carolina, NC State, one. Virginia, you got Virginia. Uh,
this is kind of
West Coast,
surprising to me though.
West
Yeah,
Coast. I'm trying to think what. Oh yeah, I forgot about. I'm gonna say California.
yes, sir. Good
Yeah,
job.
UCLA and all that. Yeah, I had to think about that for a minute.
Good job on that one. That one's a tough one because I'm,
You just
I'm the
gotta. You
same
kind
as
of have
you.
to think about like. You just gotta think about how many schools are in each state, and then who's
Right.
went on runs and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, UCLA had that crazy run with what's his name.
Yeah,
Um, let's see here. All right. Uh, name a person who has won March Madness as a player and a coach.
as a player and a coach, has won it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, boys.
I know. Is it Carolina's old? He was the coach for the Hornets. Played for Carolina. Oh my gosh, he was the coach for the Hornets right before our coach now.
You got this.
I'm on the right track. I know I am.
Yeah.
What was his name? I'm getting old, man.
You've actually said his name earlier.
How many people have done it?
Well, that's half a point is the next question. How many's done it?
Yeah, I want to
So you
say
could
there's.
guess.
I got a feeling there's been probably three players. Did Shire win it?
I don't know.
I'm trying to think if he won as a player. I know he had. Well, that's the thing. He had. Well, and do you count assistant coaches?
No.
Okay.
Head.
Then the Shire has not won it. Um. Yeah, you got me stumped. It's getting late. My brain's
Any
not.
guess? Any guess?
No guesses. No guesses.
What about for how many?
Three.
That's right.
All right. Who are
Um,
they?
it was Bob Knight, Dean Smith, and Joe
Dean.
Hall.
Why did? God, I'm an idiot. Bob Knight. Yeah, forgot about him. That guy's crazy.
Yeah. All right, that's it.
We need another Bob Knight in the college basketball.
I agree. Two. Let's see. Who beat UNC? Uh, see, I think I got the you wrong year. I say 2018 championship, but
I mean, I can tell you everybody
yeah,
they've lost to. They've lost to Kansas. They've lost to Villanova.
yeah.
Um,
So
I
whatever
think
that
yeah.
year is,
I
I think
believe
I got that wrong.
Kansas was 2020. 2020.
The one with the shot, they call
That
it.
was Villanova. That
Yeah.
was Villanova.
I don't know. I looked these questions up and it had that on there, but I don't. I think that question's wrong on there. But I'll give you that one because that's right. Villanova was the answer I was looking for.
Yeah, and it was Kayla. What was that kid's name? Golly, that dude. I saw that shot everywhere. Golly, dude. That's the worst thing about losing to a buzzer beater, boy. There ain't nothing worse than losing to a buzzer beater.
I know.
Because you're gonna relive that moment for a long time.
Hey, you got 7.5 though.
There we go. Put them
That
up
ain't
there.
bad.
Count them up.
I
Count them up.
will. I'll do that. All right. So last section here. Just real quick. I know we're kind of going over time, but it's been a lot of fun. So I didn't
Oh
want to
yeah, it's been
stop
a
it.
blast.
I'm gonna be giving out picks, sports picks every episode. And obviously, if y'all know me and follow me, I'm hitting that 78% unbiased sports fan. Go follow me on TikTok and Instagram. So if you want to make some money, all you got to do, call up your bookie or get on the app and put these in. Corey, do you have any first weekend games you want to give out first?
I will let me take a quick look at some of these spreads. I haven't dove too much into them, just kind of
Yeah,
glanced at them.
yeah, just glance and whatever you think looks good for you.
Let's see here. I will go with I'm gonna go with something we both spoke on first, with that high point spread being 10.5. They might win that game outright. That might be a fun money line little bet that you could throw in there. I believe Duke covers by 29.5 in the first round.
All right.
I will say Clemson and the 2.5 points against Iowa.
Okay.
and Queens plus 24.5, and High Point minus 10.5.
I like it. I like that a lot.
What is that?
I
5 of them?
Yep.
Yeah, let's see if I can get 3 out of 5 on that. Maybe get 4 out of 5. Get me up to
There,
80%.
there you go. All right.
What you
So
liking? What you like out here?
it's your boy Dayton with the Unbiased Sports Picks. And you guys know, if you've been following me out there, I'm the number one ball knower on the planet. And you can put anybody up against me, and I can promise you that I'm going to wipe the floor with them. But anyways, if you want to make some money, here's what you got to do. The rule number one, no questions asked. Don't ask question, only question. Just put these bets in. So all I need you to do is get your phone, call you up your bookie, or get on that little app you use. They're all free, and put some money in there and put these bets in. I got first four games for you. UMBC money line, Texas money line, and SMU minus 7.5. And then first weekend, I'm gonna give you two more to go ahead and get in now because these spreads are gonna close. Ohio State money line and High Point University plus 9.5. I'm telling you right now, you put those in, you're gonna make some money. Book it. Deuces. All right. There we go.
Word up.
What do you think about those?
I like that, man. You got them at High Point's already moved to 9.5.
Yeah, on DraftKings it was.
Yeah, ESPN's got them at 10.5.
See, it's moving down already. That's good.
Yeah, I don't know, man. You know what happens when the public gets on something?
Yeah, that's true. Never goes our way.
No, public don't ever win.
All right. Any closing thoughts for you on March
No,
Madness?
excited about March Madness. Ready to get this ball going up on Thursday morning. Come about 12:05 p.m. We're gonna
That's
have some
right.
basketball running all day long. Have multiple TVs going. Excited to hop in. Maybe go to the local sports pub and have a drink and watch a little bit of ball and just enjoy the weekend. The best time of the year, best weekend of the year is here upon us.
Christmas in March. That's right. And
That's
I
it.
do want to shout out. I do want to let everybody know I'm running an unbiased sports fan bracket challenge. I'll put the link in the description of this video. It's free, completely free, and I'll be giving away something to the winner of that. And a bunch of these giveaways are going to be sports cards, graded sports cards. It's not going to be anything cheap. So make sure you get in for free. And get those picks in, and maybe you can win something. And also, let's see, CORIE, thank you obviously for coming on.
Thanks for having me. Enjoyed it. It's been a blast.
Good luck to everyone out there on their brackets, and make sure you like and subscribe. Once we get to 100 subscribers, I'm doing a random drawing also for a giveaway. So make sure you do that. All this is free, and I appreciate everybody's support. But CORIE, that's it for me. If you got any other thoughts,
I got nothing else for us, brother.
All right, my man. Appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely.
See ya.